The music industry holds a dark secret. When it comes to behind the scenes, there's one man that occupies a powerful position: P-Diddy. You may know him for many things: a rapper, a record producer, a record executive, and even a 3-time Grammy Award winner. But behind the scenes, he controls much more than you know. In this video, you'll get to know the dirty secrets about P-Diddy, from his rise to stardom, to his grasp of strong influential control, to his fall from stardom. But before we get to that, I want to take you back in time when an innocent boy was born. Sean John Combs, popularly known as P. Diddy or Puff, was born in 1969 in Harlem and raised in Mount Vernon, New York, in the United States of America. He was raised by his mother, Janice Combs, after his father, Melvin Earl Combs, who served in the U.S. Air Force, was murdered in 1974 in a drug deal gone wrong. He was shot dead while sitting in his car. According to Diddy, "My father was a hustler. He was a drug dealer and he was a hustler. So I learned early in life that there's only 2 ways out of that dead-end jail. It made me work even harder." Growing up, Diddy attended Mount St. Michael Academy, an all-boys Catholic school, and served as an altar boy. Over the years, Diddy has gone by various names, including Puffy, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, Diddy, and Love, which he legally made his middle name in 2021. According to him, he was given the nickname Puff as a child because he would huff and puff when he was angry. For the sake of this documentary, I will address him as Diddy. Diddy studied business administration at Howard University. At that time, he produced weekly dance parties and ran an airport shuttle service while attending classes. He dropped out after his second year to pursue an internship at Uptown Records in 1990 under the guidance of label founder Andre Harrell, where he helped develop Jodeci and Mary J. Blige. But unfortunately, his stay at Uptown Records was cut short, as he was fired in 1993 due to volatile and ego issues. In his words, "I got fired because there can't be 2 kings in one castle." Shortly after he was fired, he established his own record label called Bad Boys Records, which entered a joint venture deal with Arista Records and signed Craig Mack as his first artist, then later went on to sign Christopher Wallace, popularly known as the Notorious B.I.G. or Biggie for short. Both artists began recording for the label and yielded mainstream recognition, leading to their debut album and label's first major project, Ready to Die. Ready to Die peaked at number 15 on the Billboard chart and went on to hit commercial success. Diddy went on to sign more artists to Bad Boys Records and worked with so many notable artists, including Usher at the age of 13, who stayed with him in his house for 1 year. His musical artistry and production skills earned him 3 Grammy Awards, twice in 1998 and once in 2004. Over the years, Diddy has had numerous high-profile relationships with notable partners like Jennifer Lopez and Cassie, and also fathered several children with different women, including Kim Porter, Misa Hilton, and Sarah Chapman. Diddy's longest relationship was with Kim Porter, which ended in 2007. Their bond remained strong, and they co-parented their children until her passing in 2018. His relationship with Cassie started in 2007, but later ended with subsequent abuse allegations, but we will get to that. Diddy discovered and mustered his talent as a rapper and music producer at an early age, which gave him the advantage to explore the industry and make a name for himself. Before Diddy signed Biggie into Bad Boy Records, Biggie and Tupac were homies. It is widely reported that Tupac and Biggie first met in 1993, and they both struck up a close friendship. In fact, Biggie would crash at Pac's LA house when he visited from New York, whilst Pac reportedly sent Biggie bottles of Hennessy and gave the young rapper advice. The duo performed together on stage, freestyling back and forth at venues including Madison Square Garden. Their friendship got so tight that at some point Biggie asked Tupac to be his manager, but Pac declined with the words, "Nah, stay with Puff," Shakur told Biggie. "He will make you a star." Things turned sour when Tupac failed to heed Biggie's advice to stop hanging out with jockeys Haitian Jack Agnant and Jimmy Henchman. Biggie warned that they were notorious and rough, but Tupac never heeded to his warnings. On 30th November 1994, Tupac was shot outside Quad Recording Studios in Times Square. On that faithful night, Tupac was invited to record a verse by Biggie's affiliated rapper, Lil Cease. As Tupac stepped into the studio's lobby, he was confronted by 3 armed men. They proceeded to beat, rob, and shoot him multiple times, leading to severe injuries. According to rapper Spice One, who was Tupac's good friend, as the 3 armed men surrounded Tupac, he grabbed one of the men's gun, which led to back and forth struggling until he was shot multiple times. After the shooting incident, Tupac was led to believe that Biggie and Diddy was the brain behind the shooting after finding out that both stars were in the studio building that night. Tupac and Biggie's friendship ended that night. This gave birth to the legendary rivalry between Tupac and Biggie. This incident tore the hip-hop community apart, giving rise to the infamous East Coast versus West Coast rivalry. Although Biggie openly said he has no hands in the robbery and shooting of Tupac, days later, Tupac was sentenced to 1.5 years in prison for sexual abuse, as he was unable to pay the $3 million bail. Tupac served most of his sentence in a maximum security prison. While Tupac was in jail, Biggie released the suspected Tupac diss track, Who Shot Ya? Although both Biggie and Diddy would claim that the song was not aimed at Tupac. Biggie argued that the song was written before the Pac's shooting outside Quad, but Tupac has already drawn the rivalry battle on the sand and vowed to destroy Diddy and Biggie's record label, Bad Boy Records. As soon as Tupac got out of jail, he met with Suge Knight, who signed him under his record label, Death Row Records, and the rivalry began. On the West Coast, representing Los Angeles, stood Tupac Shakur and Death Row Records, a powerhouse in the rap industry. On the East Coast, representing New York, stood Biggie and his Bad Boy Records, another dominant force in the game. The rivalry became a key narrative in hip-hop, with fans, artists, and industry personnel all being forced to choose a side. Both artists used their music as an outlet for their frustrations. Diss tracks became their weapons of choice. This rivalry lasted until the day Tupac was shot dead in a drive-by shooting in Las Vegas on September 7, 1996. This brought a huge tension in the hip-hop community. At that time, Biggie and Diddy were huge suspects considering their beef with the deceased Tupac, but it's reported that Biggie mourned the death of Tupac. According to Biggie's then estranged wife, Faith Evans, she got a call from Biggie the night Tupac was murdered. She described Biggie's voice as low and small. He was crying and seemed afraid. In her words, Biggie told her, "Something ain't right. Shit got fucked up somewhere along the way, but that was my nigga." Biggie hoped that his beef with Tupac would one day be settled, but unfortunately that didn't happen. So after the fatal incident, Biggie decided to make peace with the West Coast, and he thought the best way to do that was to record a song titled Going Back to Cali. The song was like a love song from Biggie to Cali, with the intention to end the rivalry between West and East Coast. From the lyrics, he said, "If I got to choose a coast, I gotta choose the East. I live out there, so don't go there. But that don't mean a nigga can't rest in the West, see some nice breast in the West, smoke some nice cess in the West." Diddy organized a trip to California to promote Biggie's album Life After Death, which features the song Going Back to Cali as the 17th track. Biggie, Diddy, and Bad Records crew members traveled to California in February 1997 to promote his album. Although he feared for his safety, he hired security to guard him. After the event, the next morning, Biggie was scheduled to travel to London. Instead, on the evening of March 8th, he, alongside Diddy and the Bad Boy Records crew, attended an after-party at the Peterson Automotive Museum. The party was closed early by the Los Angeles Fire Department because of smoking, loud music, and overcrowding. So Biggie, Diddy, and the crew members left the building. Biggie traveled in the front passenger seat in a Suburban alongside his associates, while Diddy traveled in a separate car alongside with other Bad Boys Record crew members. And because the party ended earlier, the streets were crowded with people leaving the party venue, which caused traffic. Biggie's SUV stopped at a red light at the corner of Wilshire Boulevard and South Fairfax Avenue. A dark-colored 1994 to 1996 Chevrolet Impala SS drove to the side of Biggie's car, and a black male wearing a light blue suit and bow tie lowered his window, drew a 9mm blue steel pistol, and fired at Biggie's car. 4 bullets hit Biggie. His crew members quickly rushed Biggie to the Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, where doctors performed an emergency thoracotomy, but he was pronounced dead at 1:15 a.m. at the age of 24. After Biggie's death, Diddy was accused of setting Biggie up for murder. Speculations have it that the day Biggie was scheduled to leave for London, Diddy insisted they would attend the after-party at the museum, despite Biggie being a core target because of Tupac's death. Former Diddy's bodyguard, Gene Deal, sheds more light on why Diddy is a suspect behind Biggie's death.
The night in which Big was went to the Peterson Museum, Clark Kent, that I had no knowledge of, brother. I had no knowledge of this until he got on somebody else's platform and spoke about it. He said, asked Big what he was doing that night because he was supposed to go to London with Big. And Clark Kent said, what are you going to the Peterson Museum for, bro? He said, D-Rock and Puff set it up. You know Pac just got killed. There hadn't been nowhere other than video shoots, other than radio. Do you understand? And the Soul Train Awards. They wasn't going out to no party, no clubs, and no hip hop scene. They wasn't doing none of that, brother. But that one particular night they go out, and it was because of Puff and D-Rock. Clark Kent said that shit himself.
Gene Deal stated that Biggie's bodyguard was unarmed, making Biggie even more vulnerable to attacks.
And none of them got no guns. You don't go Cali empty-handed.
He further said that Diddy felt reluctant after he told him that he got an intel for an assassination attempt.
I said, Puff, I got some intel. The guys are coming to kill us tonight at the museum party. He said, Gene, I don't want to hear that shit. He said, you ain't got to go if you don't want to go.
He went ahead saying Diddy acted strange at the party that night, which was totally unlike him.
Puff is running back and forth like, yo, he'll see a girl, he'll go grab a girl. He said, yo, Gene, remember her? She coming to the party tomorrow. I'm like, remember her? What the fuck is you talking about, bro? I never seen him act like this ever, because he don't act like that. Because even in New York City, once Puff get in the car, he'll leave his mama. We gone, we out.
And he further explained how Biggie was shot.
Tone, who was behind me, said, yo, somebody in the car pointing a gun at Big and them. Next thing you know, you hear say, pow, pap, 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 pap.
A sticker was put on Biggie's car to let the shooter know which car he was in. Some believe Diddy was the one who planned it.
So somebody was put up to do that because they didn't put it on Puff car. It was somebody in our crew that wanted them to know that Big was in that vehicle. Because somebody wanted to know, yo, if y'all gonna get Big, here go the car with the stickers on it.
16 days after Biggie's death, his album Life After Death was released. The album hit great commercial success, as it sold 690,000 copies in its first week of release, jumping from number 176 to number 1 in 1 week on the Billboard, and it spent 4 consecutive weeks at number 1 on the Billboard. The album was certified diamond by the Recording Industry Association of America, denoting shipment of 10 million copies, hitting a threshold for double albums, and it has been credited as one of the best-selling rap albums of all time. This was how the hip-hop community lost 2 legends. Diddy has the habit of throwing parties. Of course, he's a party-hard kind of person. So, in the summer of 1998, in the Hamptons, Diddy threw his first all-white party, for which later became known as the iconic Diddy Party. This party is held annually, and the party quickly became one of the most iconic events in celebrity culture. The concept was simple yet elegant. Guests were required to wear only white attire, creating a glamorous and unified visual aesthetic. The party's appeal wasn't just about the dress code. It became known for its celebrity-filled guest list, luxury venues, and over-the-top extravagance. The Hamptons location, known for attracting the elite, set the tone for the lavish nature of the event. Celebrities from various industries, music, film, fashion, and sports attended, making it one of the most exclusive events of the year. Diddy's white party continued for several years, eventually evolving into a cultural phenomenon, and became a symbol of Diddy's status. The event reached its peak in 2009 when Diddy hosted the party in Los Angeles during the 4th of July weekend. It was widely covered in the media and cemented its status as a must-attend event, while the White Party is a highly publicized and formal event, usually celebrated during the daytime or evening, with a focus on fashion, glamour, and celebrity attendance. There is a much extreme party he also hosts, the Freak-Off Party. This party has one rule: no phones are allowed. The Freak-Off parties are much more secretive and notorious for their association with illicit activities. These parties are often private, occurring in a controlled, invitation-only setting, away from public view and media attention. I guess this explains why phones are not allowed in the party.
Guys, I need your phone. I need your phone. I need your phone.
Before the party even started, Diddy would have hidden cameras installed throughout his house in every room without the guests' knowledge. These cameras recorded everything, including the wildest moments. He used these recordings to gain control and power over people, ensuring their complete silence and cooperation with the threat that if they didn't comply with his demands, he would release the footage to the public. With this approach, Diddy had powerful and influential people under his control. He dictated their careers and forced them to do things they wouldn't ordinarily do. If they refused to comply, he would threaten to release their compromising videotapes to the public. It is also alleged that Diddy used this approach to gain sexual advantage over some male celebrities, including Meek Mill. Allegedly, there were audio recordings of a sexual encounter between Diddy and Meek Mill circulating on social media, which Meek Mill vehemently denied being involved in. Diddy used the recorded tapes to his advantage, unaware that these very tapes would ultimately become the weapon that brings him down. In November 2023, singer Cassie Ventura filed a lawsuit against Diddy, accusing him of years of sexual abuse, physical violence, and coercion during their long relationship. She alleged that Diddy controlled and abused her starting when she was 19. Cassie detailed claims of rape, physical beatings, and trafficking. According to her, Diddy forced her to engage in sex acts with male sex workers while masturbating and filming the encounters. Surprisingly, just one day after filing the lawsuit, the two reached a confidential settlement, keeping the case out of court. Both parties released statements saying they resolved the matter amicably. 1 month later, after Cassie filed a lawsuit against Diddy, multiple accusers stepped forward detailing their own sexual assault allegations against Diddy. This got the attention of the authorities. On March 5th, authorities raided Diddy's apartment in connection with the allegations against him. They discovered 1,000 bottles of baby oil, 784 male-shaped toys, AR-15 ammunition, and the videotapes allegedly used for blackmail. Not long after this incident, a previously unseen surveillance video emerged. The footage obtained by CNN shows Diddy physically assaulting Cassie in a hotel room in 2016. This connected the dots of the allegations against Diddy and opened people's eyes to what Diddy is actually capable of doing. 2 days later, Diddy took to his Instagram page to apologize for attacking Cassie.
But I make no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video. I'm disgusted. I was disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted now.
September 16th, Diddy was arrested in Manhattan after being indicted and charged with racketeering, sex trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution.
Today I'm announcing the unsealing of a 3-count indictment, charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution.
Since his arrest, new allegations have surfaced, including claims involving Justin Bieber. One particularly troubling allegation suggests that Bieber revealed a disturbing experience of sexual assault involving Diddy when he was just 15 years old. Reportedly, Usher introduced Bieber to Diddy, and for 42 hours, Diddy had legal custody of the young singer. It's alleged that after this incident, Bieber was never the same.
Where we hanging out and what we doing, we can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. When he signed to Usher, I had legal guardianship of Usher when you know he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So and we gonna go full crazy.
Going crazy.
Videos have surfaced showing Bieber appearing visibly nervous and uncomfortable around Diddy, fueling speculation that something was amiss during their interactions.
Starting to act different, huh? You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you try to get in contact with me, through all my, partners and whatnot.
There have been claims suggesting that Diddy played a role in the tragic shootings of both Tupac Shakur and his signed artist Biggie. After Tupac's death, his posthumous album achieved major commercial success, going platinum and earning millions for his record label, Death Row Records.
Suge had the blueprint of losing the artist. Do you know how much money Death Row made when Pac died? The album went like 10 times platinum, right?
Yeah, that All Eyes on Me sold over 10 million and went diamond. And Machiavelli, I think that went like 4 times platinum. And his greatest hits, I think that sold over 10 million and went diamond. I mean, every Tupac album that came out after he died went platinum.
At that time, it was rumored that Biggie was planning to leave Bad Boy Records, which could have significantly affected the label's standing in the music industry. Allegedly, Diddy couldn't risk losing Biggie's star power, and it has been speculated that he orchestrated Biggie's murder to reap the same commercial privilege that Death Row Records experienced after Tupac's death.
So now you got your main artist leaving you that you think that's robbed you, allegedly. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to realize that was changing the name on his publishing. He wasn't putting Christopher Wallace or whatever he used on the product. He was using somebody else's name. He was changing the name. So now Puff, when that little $200,000 he gave me extra for that publishing, he not even getting that money now because Big then changed the name on it. Do you see Notorious Big missing his plane and begging Puff to go to a party with him? Puff said he begged him to go to the party with him. The party that he got murdered in. The only party that he went to with Puff. He came out Puff one night, and what happened? He don't go back home to his kids.
Diddy was also allegedly accused of orchestrating the murder of Tupac after paying $1 million for the task to be carried out. In relation to this allegation, former LA gang leader Keith D was arrested on the grounds of masterminding behind Tupac's shooting.
For 27 years, the family of Tupac Shakur has been waiting for justice. We are here today to announce the arrest of 60-year-old Dwayne Keith Davis, aka Keefy D, for the murder of Tupac Shakur.
So what they got you for, man?
Biggest case in Las Vegas history.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Like recent?
September 7th, 1996.
Although he denied his involvement and pointed finger at Baby Lane as the person who shot and killed Tupac. When asked if Diddy played a role in this, Keith responded, "Yeah, I think he did."
You say Suge looks over, he sees you? He looks right at you?
Yeah, he looked at me.
Okay. When he looks over at you,
he leaned over on the window, we rolled down the window, popped.
In recent times, Diddy has been surrounded by serious accusations about his actions. Once admired for his success in business and his influence on music, Diddy's image has been damaged due to the massive allegations against him. Many artists and people who worked with him have accused him of unfair business practices, like manipulating contracts and holding back careers. Some say Diddy put his own success above the well-being of the artists signed to his label, Bad Boy Records. There are also personal accusations, including claims of abusive behavior and toxic relationships. Diddy has denied most of these allegations, but the number of people speaking out against him has raised doubts about his character. These accusations have also made people think about how power and exploitation might play a role in the entertainment industry. As more people come forward, Diddy's reputation is at risk, and many are wondering if his contributions to music will be overshadowed by the negative stories about his actions. Legally, with the weight of the charges Diddy is facing, he appears to be in serious trouble if the accusations are proven true. It is hoped that justice will be served accordingly. Actions have consequences.